I apologize for the rather confusing and boring cold open, I guess you could call it, I had yesterday. Just kind of figuring out how this thing works, what it's capable of, what I'm capable of for that matter. I'm not exactly sure why exactly I decided to do this whole thing. I just figured, it always kind of struck me whenever I'm playing Pokemon Go that we probably play a little bit different in a more rural setting, shall we say, than the people who play in the game's intended environment, which is urban. That's not something bad on Niantic's part, it's just they have to go where the money and the people are. And the majority of money, people, and if you're running an augmented reality game, landmarks are going to be in cities. So, when the game first came out, I was working in Effingham, Illinois, and I decided, just kind of on a lark almost, to use it as an excuse to explore all the small towns within I arbitrarily chose a 50-mile radius of my house. And what I discovered was that, well, all things considered, Effingham is probably the best place within that radius, with the possible exception of Terre Haute, but that's right on the edge. And it's a considerably larger town than Effingham is. A couple observations I made along the way, though, was any place that billed itself as being historic was generally a little more profitable place to play than any place that doesn't. Salem, Illinois, for example, or Greenup, my mom's hometown of Troy Grove. And it's like 3 blocks by 5 blocks, but I had, before the gym update, 1 gym and 7 stops in just that small little, not even square they have there. But you get my point. Now, I've been to larger cities and done a little hunting there, Indianapolis primarily. The thing that really struck me when I was in Indy was that there's a lot of stuff there that I just considered absolutely the pinnacle of rarity. Swinubs, Snubbles, Magnemites, Voltrons, Voltorbs, Jinxes, just all sorts of electric and ice types, Sneasels. Did I mention Sneasels already? But you get my point. This is the sort of stuff that I see once every couple of weeks in Effingham. Otherwise, Effingham is nothing but, I believe the technical term for it is like grass, forest, and swamps. I mean, we don't even have any proper water spawns, unless I think maybe I think people report there's like 2 water spawns out in the nature trails on the edge of town, and that's pretty much it. But in terms of stops and gyms, it's actually a fairly decent place. From downtown, there's several routes you can take that have 10 or more stops on them. If you just circle the China Express block, that's 7 stops right there, just around one little block. And you can see a little over half a dozen gyms from around that area. And those are the ones that most of the raiding and whatnot takes place in. There's a couple other little hubs around town. Community Park, Evergreen Park, the Big Cross. And in case people don't realize, we have a really freaking huge cross out by the interstate as you leave, headed towards St. Louis. Basically put up there as a sort of tourist trap type thing. But it has 2 gyms and a smattering of stops around it. People don't go out there and, play just to play very much, but 2 gyms right next to each other. People try to keep an eye on it in case anything interesting pops up in the gyms there. Done a couple, Tyrannitars, legendary raids, that sort of thing. If something big pops up anywhere else. And that's another thing I think I should point out, is that the one thing I really noticed about Effingham more than anywhere else, is especially picked up after raids became a thing, was that it is far more organized than just about any other town or city in this area. Like you go up to Mattoon, people were just talking about it earlier, you go to Mattoon and they can't hardly get a raid group together. And everyone's like level 20 apparently. And something pops up and nobody knows about it until it's halfway gone. Meanwhile, I pretty much whip out my phone here and we've got eyes all over town. You know, we got people who live right next to gyms just because they're in residential-ish areas. Residential-ish, is that a word? It's a word now. Residential-ish. So when something pops up, we know. And it's a very, I think this might be slightly different than what you might see in a bigger city. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of my country bumpkin showing through here, but there's a very high level of trust here. We basically are each other's Ubers. It's like, someone's like, hey, can someone come pick me up in order for me to get that raid? I'm at this place. And then someone goes and does it. I mean, I've taken rides, I've given rides. It's, we might not necessarily know each other by their first name, on a first name basis. I'm personally terrible with names, but I recognize faces. Once I know someone, I know them. And so I can just identify a bunch of people just right off the bat. I know, you know, who's kind of getting up there, who is, you know, a solid contributor to this sort of thing. We have a lot of actually fairly high level people in Effingham. I'm not trying to be braggadocious here, but I'm kind of one of them. I'm only less than 2 million away from level 40. But I mean, Steve, a co-worker of mine, he hit 40 just earlier, about a week ago. My buddy Robbie, he's also right on the cusp. Kathleen, she hit 40 a couple months ago, I think. She's really been flirting with 40 for a long time, though. Baker, if he's not level 40 by now, he should be really close. And then we got people who are just really prolific, even if they're not high level, because they're not doing the stuff that just grinds out the experience, you know, the Evo dumps and burning a lucky egg and evolving 500 things. People like, you know, Felicia or the SQs, Chris and Phyllis. And generally we have a good grasp of how much we need to do something. We don't waste a lot of resources. There's hardly anyone who like goes into a raid and fails it, because we more or less know what our win conditions are going to be. It's like, okay, we got a Moltres, we need, you know, 3 good people, or we need, you know, 2 good people and a handful of, you know, mid to low level people. What we're dealing with right now, as of the recording of this, no idea if, when I'll ever upload this to, you know, YouTube or whatever, wherever I'd be putting this sort of crap. By the way, I tend to swear a lot, so parents, you have been warned. If your kids are listening to this, I am pretty much a goddamn sailor half the time. Currently, we're dealing with Ho-Oh raids, and we just got off of like the Far-Fetched, and that was really great because they popped up just when I had one big day off, and then I had to go back to work. So I was like, yes, Far-Fetched. And then immediately after I go back to working for the next couple of days, where I'm working 12-hour days, 7A to 7P, where I've got no ability to do raids whatsoever, they're like, congratulations, you've got Ho-Ohs. And I'm like, mother, I'm gonna spare you that one, but I'm just giving you that one. From here on out, not pulling my punches. All right, now we're getting into Effingham proper. This right here is 3rd Street. Pretty much leads from the interstate down to the square here. You're going to see St. Anthony's Church on the right and the St. Anthony Grade School, Catholic school, on the left. St. Anthony's Hospital, we have a thing about St. Anthony's here, we really love them in Effingham apparently, is right down that road. There's a straight shot from right there. It's not a trauma center though, so we get a lot of medevac helicopters flying overhead, taking people who are really seriously hurt from St. Anthony's to generally St. Louis. Alright, post office. This used to be the Fifth Third Bank building, but now it's the new library. The old library, the Helen Mathis building, is back there, and it's actually a stop. And this one isn't a stop, but it has a piece of artwork out in front of it that's considered that is a stop. That's actually the main reason that downtown Effingham is so prolific, is they did what's the proper term for it? A public beautification program where they put a bunch of like sculptures and whatnot around town, and most, if not all of them, even the ones that aren't technically here anymore, are stops. Like there's a big butterfly right there out front of Joe Sippers. According to Pokemon Go, it is still flying by the moon. When we refer to the Go-Go Dancer, the Go-Go Dancer is just right up here on the right, over by the American Legion building. It was originally this really god-awful looking Go-Go Dancer. It was white and black, white and red striped. Like big broad stripes. I don't know how exactly to describe it. Like it wasn't properly striped on her dress or anything like that. It was just straight lines, red, white, red, white. And it was an absolute eyesore. And it's some totem pole looking thing right now with like tiki masks on it. But we still refer to it as the Go-Go Dancer because that's what it shows up as. Alright. I am in a fairly unique phone situation. What happened was, I dropped my old phone, fair enough, sent it in to get it repaired, and it has been 4 months and they still haven't freaking returned it to me. So I ended up using my old phone, which worked for a time, but then the battery got really weak and it stopped staying charged, and it turns out the connector in the bottom was a little bent out of shape, and the only way I could keep it properly charged, and it dies really quickly otherwise, is essentially to rubber band a portable battery to it. I can't really, play the game properly this way. So a buddy of mine upgraded his phone, and he lent me his. And the SIM card for this does not fit in this. So what I did was I turned this into a mobile hotspot, and I just carry it around with me in my pocket, and I play the game proper on this one. And then I realized I could actually start up a second account and put it on this phone and basically just walk around and play it using a Go Plus while still playing on this game, which is why I've got, at this point, 2 Go Pluses. I'm running two games essentially at the same time. I'm not going to really be able to do that today, though, unfortunately, because I can't find my Go Plus. I don't know where I put it. So I'm just going to make sure that she maintains her daily streaks, and I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one of her lures here. They should still be lasting 6 hours. And I'll just catch the first thing that pops up and then pretty much just put her in my pocket and forget about her. And it's an oddish. Around these rubber bands, can't even freaking see it. There we go. Oh, that's an absolutely god-awful oddish. Yeah, alright. Well, she's pretty much done. Camera's about to go all funky, because I'm going to put this in the inner pocket of my jacket. I didn't feel like splurging on any of those really dorky-looking camera holder things. I'm not going to wear this thing on my friggin' head like a doof. So I ended up putting it on the lapel of my jacket. It works for the most part. Oh, hey, see, this is what I'm talking about in the chat room. Let's see. Ah, for God's sakes. Looks like I missed that one. Oh, I forgot to turn on the Wi-Fi on the important phone. I got no connection here, so I'm actually looking at an old conversation, so maybe I didn't miss anything. At least nothing more than I normally miss. Alright. That's on. Let's hope I don't bump the cord. Stop us from recharging, because that happens sometimes, and if that phone dies, the game dies. There we are. All right. 5 at community, hatching around 11:30. Looks like we have a ho-oh at Community Park. Confirm keys so I'm not locked out. This place is much busier on a weekday than it is on Sundays. See, right now, I consider that Psyduck to be interesting. That's how bad it is here. Holy hell, how many raids was that? There's like 5 raids ongoing. What do we got? 1-star, 2-star, Tentacruel, Alakazam. That's a 3-star. Minutes. At the First Baptist Church. One of the things we've done here in Effingham is we've developed a lexicon when referring to these places. FBC is the First Baptist Church. It's that big church over there by the overpass leading towards Southtown. Whenever we talk about community, we don't usually specify which gym it's at because you can see all 3 of them from pretty much any point in the park. I'm going to keep that. Here's a Chikorita. We can evolve the hell out of him later. There are tons of Chikoritas, plenty of Bulbasaurs, there's Squirtles, there's Totodiles, Cyndaquils, and Charmanders, virtually unheard of. This is Joe Sippers. My brother used to work here back in the day. Local coffee shop. One thing I noticed after playing this game was just how many places there are to get your hair cut here in Effingham. I mean, there's just 2 right there. Then there's the old barber shop on the square, and it just never seems to end. And I'll be honest, I need a haircut right now, so I'm seriously considering it, weighing my options. The Centenary is a Methodist church down here on the right. Can't even see it from here, but it's a... I went down there from the last videos I took. As you can see, it's a pretty big, nice looking building, at least comparatively speaking. Somebody has lured these up already. Let's see who we got. Katie. More Katie. That looks like it's just Katie. think I know who that is. Itadakimasu, I guess, as the weebs say. Center it. Well, my primary goal... Hey, there's Robbie. My primary goal today is getting a ho-oh. But my secondary goal is to finish getting up 500 things to do another Evo dump on, burn off the last of my lucky eggs while this event is still ongoing, and that should take me north of 4 million. If Robbie's gonna be there, that's 2 heavy hitters right there, plus Felicia, that's 3. We should be fine. One of the things we do when the new raid bosses come out, we essentially try to find the thing's armor class, so to speak. Anyone who's played D&D knows what I'm talking about. You know, okay, I hit him when I roll an 8, but I don't hit him when I roll a 6. So it's got to be, will I hit him if I roll a 7? Oh, looks like I do hit him if I roll a 7. Therefore, we need to roll a 7 or better to hit him. Basically, we do the same thing with raid bosses. Okay, we beat this guy with 5. Can we beat him with 4? Okay, we beat him with 4. Can we beat him with 3? No, we can't beat him with 3. Ah, yes, the most overpowered thing in the game, the CP-10 Pidgey. Please nerf. Niantic. Niantic, please. Basically retracking my steps. Whoa! Almost tripped there. Hey, Felicia just sent a photo. Oh! Oh! It's not a ho-oh. That guy said ho-oh. I thought he knew what he was talking about. I thought he said that everything was a friggin' ho-oh. It's not a ho-oh, that's a trush. Well, my soul has been crushed. Absolutely and utterly crushed. There's a freaking Ivysaur back there. Alright, so you can see right there, that's St. Anthony's. St. Anthony is not actually a stop in of itself, a gym, but the monk and child statue out front of it is. This right here, you can see that, is the church itself. That right there is the grade school. The high school is down over further that way. I already have a fairly decent Suicune, so Debbie here offering to help people if they don't have it already. You know, I'd make the same offer. I'm a nice guy. It is technically the last day Suicune's going to be out. So I'm not in any mad rush, but there might be other people who are. Kathleen says she needs one. Well, then it's decided. We're going to wreck that guy's face. Let's try not to get hit by any vehicles. Hey, I survived. That's new. Oh, Christy's saying she needs one. Well, geez. This chikorita's playing hard to get. Then again, I probably should be using some berries. It says he'll be out and about, ready to help around. I almost said one did just poo. Oh God, it's auto-correcting pop into poo now. Stop it, phone. What are you, like in second grade? Okay, wrapped up that chikorita. Christy went to Evergreen, wrong part, lol. Oops. And I just hatched a Ponyta. Evo fodder. Hey, a Tyrogue. I like seeing those. I don't like it when they only give me 10 candy. Oh, he's got all just decent stats. Ah, man, a perfect Hitmonlee would have been pretty friggin' sweet. Oh well, hey, a coughing. Don't see those very often. And decent lot of candy for it. Don't think he's all that great though. We'll just get rid of him. I don't want to have the candy to spare to be using him as Evo fodder. You know, wild Letty in here. Can't use him as Evo fodder, but it'll help me evolve a extra quarter of a Lettyba. I'm assuming he actually allows himself to be caught. He's doing that freaking zippity doodah bullshit, as my buddy Bill puts it. Come on, there we go. Oh yeah, good old Christmas decorations. We haven't had any real snow yet though, and then again it's only late November. Plenty of time. Hey, a Weedle. Those are actually very desirable right now. I think that's one of the recompenses for playing in the country. Is you see a whole bunch of the really weak stuff, but it's really easy to evolve, and evolving a Kakuna is worth just as much as evolving a Dragonite. So it does kind of help us over level ourselves a bit. Then again, we also can't, you know, wake up, flip over in bed, open the phone up, and immediately have 5 things to catch. The nearest spawn point from my house is literally someone else's house at a pig farm a couple miles down the road. I know because I've checked. All right, from here, you can finally see the entirety of Community Park. As you can tell, there's just about 5 stops on it. There's also 3 gyms. They're all more or less evenly spaced out. This is kind of a busy intersection, so you gotta look both ways. Trust me, kids, I did. You might not have seen it, but I totally did that thing. I'll make sure these people don't back up over us. We survived. Currently, the OK symbol in chat is the fireball. They change, whoever has the power to do so, changes it every so often. It was a skull during Halloween, for example. That's something else I think I should mention, is how important global events are to people like us living in the country where pretty much everything we see is Weedles and Pidgeys. And Squirtles all the way down. Because if it weren't for Halloween, I probably never would have gotten a Gengar, or at least it would have taken me absolutely, you know, half a year just hatching and catching things. That car has had a flat rear left tire since forever. Irregardless. It's not a word, it's just regardless. Kind of one of the reasons we got a little bit salty after Chicago Fest. Robbie went to Chicago Fest, by the way. I think we had a couple of people who went. He was one of them, but yeah, they got to see the dumpster fire firsthand. As far as we were concerned, though, we pulled our weight. We contributed very mightily to the catch challenges. I was averaging at least 50 stuff per half hour, at least. But after the Chicago Fest, they really didn't do any sort of global events. They just did those safari zones, which were nice for the individual cities affected. I mean, that's the other problem. It just affected those cities. Considering how many cities there are in the world where people play this game, they're still only helping a fraction of the people who are some of their best player base, probably. Has anyone checked T-Town? Oh, should probably mention there's a small town called Teotopolis. We just call it T-Town for short. Which is just right on the edge of Effingham. And their city lines are really close together. Basically, you leave Effingham, you get into T-Town. T-Town doesn't have much going for it, but it is relatively close. So people do still occasionally look out there and say, hey, is there anything interesting in T-Town? Usually there isn't. At one point, I believe there was only 1, maybe 2 gyms in the entire town. And that was the Memorial to the Unborn just outside the KFC hall. But now they got, what was it, the Yellow Warehouse. And there's one in the cemetery, but the phone service is so awful. I went there, we were trying to do a Charizard raid, and I literally just couldn't get in. because the game's connection was just so awful. Not the game's connection, but the phone just in general. All right. Here in community, basically we got a little playground right there. We have a course that drives around it. That's where they set up the Christmas decorations, you know, the drive with your family, look at the Christmas lights stuff. And then we got baseball diamond, tennis courts over there. We got the disc golf over here. We got a little pavilion which serves as a gym. Done a lot of rating out here. That's the Gene Nickum sign, because it was, you know, the funds to make those tennis courts, I believe, was donated by the Gene Nickum. It was either the tennis courts or the baseball diamonds, either way. But he's basically, the guy's got a big sign, and the big sign is a gym. Dual Ratataz. Then there's the Rotary Pavilion. There's a basketball courts over there, which actually used to be this town's pool. That was the community pool over there. And they basically tore it out, replaced it with basketball courts, and they moved the pool over to the Evergreen. Oh, that reminds me, I need to throw in some more eggs. All right, 3 more eggs, that'll do. Okay, we're gonna stop here for a minute. I'm gonna catch that Eevee, because Eevees are awesome and I love them. And even though I have way more Eevee candy than I'll ever know what to do with, I still pineapple every single one I see, just about. Alright, I'm gonna save some data for now. Well, storage space, I should say, while I wait for everyone else to show up. Catch you on the flip side. And it's not even a very good Eevee. Alright, it's 12 o'clock. Time to start heading back over to the golf course, disc golf course. You can see here, basketball courts. This right here is the Rotary Pavilion, little playground. Used to spend a lot of time here when I was a kid. Extra baseball diamond. Christmas decorations. I distinctly smell smoke. Someone burning leaves or something? Oh, there it is. Yeah, someone burnt out this ditch. That would explain it. Probably the city doing a controlled burn. Yeah, see? Check it. This little bridge here, it's kind of odd. There's no formal trail leading to it. It just kind of exists. Someone's like, where is everyone? Where is everyone? Me, over here. That doesn't help. Yes, it does. Scorpiac's coming, James. Someone asking if we got enough people. We'll take a head count once we get up here. Oh, they weren't they were asking where community was. They weren't oh shoot. I thought they were saying they were at community and they want to know where everyone else is. Well, there's Ina.
Hey.
Hey, Ina, you're being recorded.
Oh, I am.
Exactly. So anyway, I totally misread what Christy was saying. I thought she was asking, where is everybody? Because I didn't see anyone else here. So I'm like, oh, I'm coming up right behind you. She ain't even here. She didn't know where it was. Oops.
I just told her I hope I did the right instructions. You usually tell me how to get here. What's that?
Wait. Well, that's not Debbie's normal car. No wonder I didn't recognize her.
She here?
Yeah, I got the stickers on it.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for actually understanding what she said.
It didn't help. Apparently she doesn't know you can click on it and then get instant directions there. But, oh well.
It depends on what kind of phone she's using and whatnot. But I told Ina, when she said that, I thought she was saying she was here and she didn't see anyone else.
Oh.
So that's why I was all like...
I was the only one here whenever she said that. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm here.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I thought. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, she's asking how to get here.
Ah.
Let's see.
Oh, it took forever. Where'd that go? It should automatically open up. I don't know. Maybe.
Kinda. We're just trying to figure out where everyone else is.
Okay. Hell, I went to the wrong place.
Well, apparently,
I do. I say I'm always doing that.
apparently Christy doesn't even know where it is.
There's a
Oh, yeah?
egg
Yeah.
Well, hell, if I don't know. Who?
Christy.
Oh, hell.
I hope that's her right there. Hope she got the instructions.
Did I say it right?
I don't know, whoever it is, they're coming in awfully quick.
Yeah, woo.
It's a guy.
Oh, that's, okay, that's Matt. Cool.
I told Matt get here.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, with Matt, we should have, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be enough, but I mean,
33.
but Christy says she needs one, so I'd really, I would.
need one too, bad.
Yeah, well.
I want the hoe.
I haven't got one of them either.
I was about to say, I haven't had a chance to go do a ho-oh yet.
Me
so.
neither.
What's up, Matt?
Hey.
Just so you know, you're being recorded.
Oh, like, what am I looking for here? I'm looking right there. I need to get one of those.
Ho-ohs?
No, one of that little camera thing.
Oh, that's actually pretty spiffy, but just one of those things that they came with, like a thing you put on your head, like a little miner's thing. I'm like, I'm not walking around wearing that. I just put it on my lapel like that. I think it's actually pretty sweet. What about just one star? Oh. But I'm not really in the market for a Charmeleon. I wouldn't mind a better Venusaur though. Hey, sorry about earlier. I misinterpreted what you said.
It's all right.
I was right over there, and I was looking up here. And when you said that, I thought you were asking where is everybody. So I'm like, well, I'm walking up here. I'm right behind you. That's what I meant. I didn't realize you were asking for directions.
It's all right. Yeah. We're not very familiar with Effingham just yet. We're still breaking in the area.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
So are we still doing Suicune? Like,
Oh yeah, we haven't started yet.
Awesome.
So.
I still have one. That lucky guy's got 2 of them. And I'm like, to get one.
But say, are you going to help? I think we got enough as is, but.
Yes, I'm totally gonna take part. I'll see if he wants to help.
All right. I thought there was a ho-ho out here. I thought someone said, you know, hey, community ho-ho. So I went out here, and it turns out it hadn't hatched yet. They were apparently just wish casting. So the moment I see a ho-ho, I'll say something because I want one. I'm sure half everyone else does too.
They left at 45.
I ain't got a Charizard yet, and I want it.
There was one at the cross, the big cross. It was a yellow egg. It hadn't hatched yet whenever I was out there.
3 or 4.
The yellow one.
Well, okay, it's going to be one of those, but
It could be a
depends.
Grim.
Could be a T-tar.
Oh, it could be a T-Tar too.
Anyway, I think Christy's the last person we were waiting for, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she on her way?
Oh, she's right over there. All right. You were the last person we were waiting on, so basically whenever you're ready, I think we should go.
All right.
Logging in right now.
I'm going to spin this stop because it came back up. Try again later. What is... Okay, there we go.
You guys already jumping in, or y'all?
No, I haven't jumped in yet, but I'm gonna give the signal once you guys are... You ready to go, mate?
Way too far away.
Oh, it ain't that cold out here. You'll be fine. All right, guys, we're going in. You guys set?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, here we go.
How many are
I think we got at least like 7 or 8.
Alright.
Yeah, we should be. I think we should be fine.
Probably don't need me because it looks like I'm turning on anyway.
Oh, fug.
Jump in.
All right.
You can't just try to jump back in. We're both free store like Brian had it. It's actually hard to remember.
All right. Team assembled. We got Executor, Jolteon, Ampharos, Dragonite.
Is Dragonite good against?
He's resistant. I don't have another good grass or electric type at the moment. I mean, I got, you know, the Zapdoses, but I haven't raised any of them up, so.
Yeah, I haven't done that either.
I don't know why, I just haven't really raised any of my legendaries up except Mewtwo. I mean, I just kind of keep them as trophy pieces. I actually power up the stuff I can put in gyms. Then I never put them in gyms.
I've been powering up my attackers, my Tyrantars, Rhydons.
Yep. Oh,
That's all I got going for me.
I love my Tyrantars.
They're fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hope this person ain't trying to get in. Okay, no, it's some old guy. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we got 7. That should be...
You guys' symbols.
Butterfree, Snorlax, Rhydon.
Alright. Yeah, no, it won't let me in.
Oh, what the hell? We got...
No, the game itself. I just
Oh.
can't get in.
That's...
Unfortunately, Pokemon Go has stuff. This
Uh,
is the 3rd time I've tried to just log on. It won't let me.
weird. You want us to back out, or you just want us to go
No,
ahead?
Go for it.
All right, we're going ahead then, I
You guys
guess.
can kill it. Awesome. Like,
10
I'm
seconds.
I'm good.
We got me, we got
So we still got the 2 you can run by thing.
Kathleen,
I
we
mean,
got Scorpiac.
I just
I think-
might not want to play this game at all today because fuck this. Every time. I just...
Here, let me lend you some power.
Right? Like, I
Oh,
want to just
better get
smash it onto
started.
the floor, but I don't want to do that at the same time because I don't want to go buy a new phone.
Delay of gratification is a thing.
But it does not want me to do it.
What's he got? I think that's Water Pulse. I'd much rather him have Water Pulse than Hydro Pump.
I didn't get a good look at it.
I might get logged on by the time you guys are done. Don't know
Oh yeah, that's Water Pulse. Yep. Now I see the text. Now let's see if we can get one more solar beam in before the inevitable. Nope, that's going to take him out. It's going to
update.
ghost me. There was an
there was an
update,
update.
yeah.
You might have to
that's
go to the
probably
Play Store
why,
and force
then.
update.
Yeah, because this game's stupid. Don't like just fucking jump in. Oh, hey, we need an update.
Ah,
I was gonna say there's an
my
update.
dodging is not on point today. Oh. And
I gave
QQ's
this
down.
one dodge, and it seems like it hits me anyways.
There's that weird glitch where if he hits you with a charge attack that would have knocked you out, but you dodge it and it doesn't knock you out, the game knocks you out anyway.
That sounds like a horrible glitch.
It's absolutely infuriating. I refer to it as getting ghosted, because your guy is still technically out there and still technically fighting, but he has no animations whatsoever. And like he still takes damage, he can still attack, he can still use charge attacks, but you can't tell how much charge attack you have because the bars just disappear because you guys technically knocked out. Except he's not.
So we need a glitch that's in our favor.
Yes, Niantic, fix your shit. Or at least break it so that helps us.
Right. We'll break it a little bit more so it works.
I managed to dodge that one. The next one's gonna ghost me though. He's in the red. We still have half the time left. We'll be perfectly fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, see, I just dodged that and then poof, I'm ghosted. Yeah, there, Ampharos. Problem with my Ampharos is he can't friggin' dodge. He's got that volt switch that takes forever to use.
All your Pokemon things are not so close.
And he's down.
Not sure what I should do. Well, let me into the game.
I'm gonna force update nothing.
There is no update. I even tried to go into the app itself to see if there was like a force update.
Have you gone to like the Play Store to look at?
Yeah.
Huh. That usually works.
Just says open.
That's no good. And we got him.
Good job.
Good job, fam. Yeah, 4 goldies, 6 hypers. Hey, a charge TM. 9 rare candies. That's unusually high amount. Oh, now they just give you the Stardust in a pool instead of making you tap it. Alrighty. Bonus challenge. 1560. He sucks. Let's see if we can milk him for some extra candy.
Anyway, good luck. Going back to the dark.
Oh, yep. Got a 5-star of some description, hatching in about an hour over at the IGA. Ah. He's being a fighter. Probably gonna have to take him seriously here in a minute. Oh yeah, better take him serious.
I'm coming for help.
Oh God.
I'm going to try it one more time and then I'm going to pass it on.
This happens a lot.
I know.
Thank you guys, I finally got one.
You got one?
All right.
Awesome. Bam.
Now I need one. I need to get
Yeah.
one. Uh-oh.
Getting a good feeling?
No, I'm not getting a good
No, I'm talking to Matt about that reflection one.
Yeah.
I got a great now. Let's see if I can
Everybody
catch
get
him. Otherwise, I'm passing it on. Oh. Whenever you catch yours, let me know.
Well, if I catch mine, I mean, that's not even a guarantee.
Yeah, Tom has 2 of them. I told him, hey, they were open up trading. I'm taking one of those if I don't get one.
Yeah, freaking trading wind, Niantic. I swear to God.
Jesus, that wind's starting to pick up in.
Oh, and yeah, he just stiffed me.
Well, thank you guys. We'll be here in town for a while if
All right.
anything happens.
We got something. You know where the
I got
IGA
6.
is?
Yes.
There's a 5-star that should be hatching in about an hour over there.
Okay.
Good, that's right by me.
That's the one by IJ, right?
Yeah.
All right, 1570.
Is that a good one or?
It's middling range. It's better than the one I was shooting at.
I think mine's 15, 17.
There's only 2
Ah.
jams. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go hide in the car now.
Yeah, not a big fan of the weather. Ah, come on, buddy.
Me either, I'll tell you what.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I'm not gonna get in the truck and cry if I don't get him, so don't worry.
All right. I just...
Better back up.
I'm trying, but he ain't cooperating.
I know he wasn't for me either.
Come on, buddy. Don't be a get. Don't be a get. Don't be a get. Got him!
Did you? All right. Now I got
There you
one.
go.
Thank you.
Welcome. That was your first one?
Yep, that's my first one.
Good day.
I've been running 103, 104 fever. My kidney disease came back.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I never made it out, and I was like, oh, I thought when the hoo-ha come out, I was like, oh, fuck, now I missed it. So
Yeah, they're apparently going away tomorrow sometime or later
God.
today, so
Thank God, at least I got one.
got one on under the radar.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I knew that if I passed it off, I'd probably get it.
I should have other...
You got a vehicle?
No, I walked here.
You want to ride back to town?
I appreciate it. I like walking. I'm used to the cold at this point, so...
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I walked here, I'll walk back. But thank you kindly for the offer.
Driver.
Later. Like I said, people around here just offer each other rides all the time. All right, time to go wrap this up. I'll check back in with you if I see a hello. Real quick aside, this is a relatively unusual spawn. At the old library, the old Helen Mathis, we have a Jigglypuff and a Ghastly. I consider that to be double unusual because you don't normally see those things more than maybe once a week. And both at the same time, in the same location. Très bizarre. Right across the tracks from the IGA. 3, 2, 1. Prepare for maximum disappointment. Maximum disappointment.